February 4th of 2022. We got another 8 inches of snow dumped on us overnight. In fact, we actually had an ice storm before that. So if you remember, if you watched the last vlog, then you know I told you guys in like a day or so after I'd filmed that we were about to have another winter storm, and it was literally all rain and freezing rain and sleet for most of the day yesterday. And then overnight in my area, we got about another 8 inches. I had the thing out there. Oh, I moved it. But the stick is out there. And I had it sitting in a spot where the snow, I think I had it here where all this is cleared off now. I had just cleared it off the other night, so there was no snow. It gathered up to 8 inches sitting there. And that is what we ended up having. So, yeah, the Grand Am and the Saab are both up there, and I did get into both of them to let them run. I tried to clear them off some because I don't want that blower motor to freeze up again in the Saab. But yeah, they're not going anywhere. I dug the other two cars out. It took me 2 hours to get the driveway all situated. Didn't make it into work today. By the time I was, I had everything cleared off and all the cars thawed and everything, work even told me, don't even bother coming in because a lot of cancellations. So, that actually leads me to today's topic. Work. Look at all this snow. Like, it was just starting to kind of go away a little bit. The roads are a mess everywhere. I actually took my wife to work today because she didn't want to drive out there. And I don't blame her. The roads are just awful. Completely awful. We're going to try something different. Instead of sitting at the desk, I'm going to sit in one of my minivan chairs that I built. Put the cam on the tripod. And I'm going to give you guys a life update. Because we have more snow, it's cold, there's no point in doing cold starts. You guys, the last few vlogs have been about the cars and the cold and stuff, and I got nothing new to talk about at this time, but there is a little bit of a life update that you guys are eventually going to find out about at some point, in this vlog soon. So, because I really don't have a lot going on today, I might as well just throw it to you guys now. As many of you may know, if you have been watching this series, for the last 2 years or so, then yeah, you guys know that I was in school for automotive technology. I graduated with a degree in automotive technology, which makes me an actual, mechanic in a way. Even though they don't go by the term mechanic anymore, because with today's cars, there's more stuff electrically, computers, all that stuff. So they call you technician. So I am officially an auto tech, and I had a job before I started going to school where I was taking pictures of cars, but while I was in school, I was actually able to get a job at a local Ford dealership to start working on cars and such as I was going through my schooling program. And then after I graduated, which it's been about a year this month as this is being filmed, the end of this month will mark my first year out of school, graduated. But as soon as I graduated, I went full-time at this dealership, and I have been at this Ford dealership ever since. Well, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to change it up a lot, actually. I have made the decision to leave the Ford dealership that I am at this time. In fact, I've actually made the decision to leave Ford altogether. So here we go. I'm sure people are going to start throwing things in the comments about this whole situation. Let me tell you why I have decided to not just leave the dealership I'm at, but why I'm leaving Ford in general. I'm honestly leaving the dealership because this particular dealership is just not fit for me at this time. I've been there for 2 years. It'll actually be 2 years at the end of the month that I started working there. And, to be quite honest, as much as I like, most of the people that I work with, the guys in the shop are great. The service writers, just about everybody that I work with, I have no problem with anybody. The problem is, just where I need to be in this career path that I've chosen. And unfortunately, this particular dealership is not really allowing me to advance where I would like to be. I still get mostly very, very simple tasks. And when I say that, I'm talking, oil changes, tire rotations, tire mounting, tire balancing, done a few brake jobs, done a few recalls, little miscellaneous things, light bulb replacements, just nothing in depth, and I figured by now, especially being out of school for this whole year, and having this degree and all the education, and I've gone through, Ford training, the training program for Ford. I started doing their online courses and such. I haven't been getting all of the types of work that I would have thought I was doing by now. And for the time that I've invested in my education to actually make this a career, I am at this point not getting any return on that investment at all. I just felt like I could stick it out, keep going. I'm sure eventually I will get something different, but no, you can only do so much, unfortunately. And I've got stuff that I have to think about. I've got to be able to keep up with my mortgage and my car payments. The project cars obviously still need money for repairs. I've got utilities, I've got credit cards, I've got all kinds of stuff. And, I want to be able to have some extra money to have a little more fun. Doing what I'm doing now, I'm not getting anywhere with that. Plus, on top of that, the student loans are going to be coming in. They keep deferring them, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to be deferred much longer. So, in a few months, those will have to start being paid back. I need to really reevaluate what I'm doing right now, is basically what I'm getting at. You can only do so much and take so much, and to simply put it, I've had it. So I started to look at other dealerships. I started to put my resume out there, and then I started to think, where do I want to apply? Do I really want to stay with Ford? So, my reason for leaving Ford. I have nothing against Ford at all. So far, with all of the vehicles that I've ever owned in my entire vehicle history, and you guys, I've made videos on all of the cars. I made vlogs in particular, specifically talking about every single car that I've had, and I've ranked them, So yeah, my history of cars, if you look back on it, I had mostly GM. But I've managed to buy a Ford at one point, and I never looked back at GM. My Escape, when I bought my Escape, it was an incredible car. Then we bought my wife's Fiesta, which just celebrated 5 years of ownership, and so far that car has been amazing also. And then I bought my Fusion, which I currently have. Still an amazing car, nothing major. I mean, I've had really, really good luck with the Ford cars so far, and I honestly just love the brand. I love the cars that they were putting out. I love the cars that they're putting out now. You know, there's a lot of good things that I have to say about Fords, and I know a lot of you guys may not be on board with this because everybody, is entitled to their own opinion. You can like your GM brands, you can like your Dodge or Chryslers or Fiats or whatever you want to categorize them as. You can like those. You can like your Fords. You can like your imports. Everybody's entitled to that. I've always been a huge fan of Ford ever since I made the switch in 2015. And that was really the main reason why I decided to be a Ford tech, was because it's a brand that I know a lot about just from personal ownership, and I wanted to learn more about them, as well as being in the field and learning more about cars, in general. My decision on leaving Ford does not have anything really negative about Ford, but one thing that I have learned just from working at the dealership that I'm at now is I don't like dealing with diesels. I don't like dealing with Super Duties. I don't like dealing with dually trucks. And some of you guys may just think, that's BS, and in a way it is. But I'm just being flat out honest. I do not care for working on large trucks like this. Simple things like, diesel engine oil changes. That's fine. I've done many of them since I've been at this Ford dealership. Even some fuel filter and water separator changes. Not that big a deal. Messy, but not that big a deal. But I honestly just have never been interested in working with anything that large. I'm not a fan of diesel stuff. I'm not a personal fan of diesel stuff. There are a lot of guys out there who love their diesels. They can love their Power Strokes. They can love their Duramaxes. They can love their Cummins. I get it, That just has never been my style. It's never been an interest for me. So, being at the Ford dealership that I'm at, we do a lot of them. And not just necessarily basic, pedestrian type Super Duties with, regular truck beds and stuff. I'm talking dump trucks. And I'm talking big old flatbeds, I don't like working on those. Anything that has a 19.5-inch wheel size, which is basically a small semi-truck tire, a wheel that comes off these things, I have problems with them every time. I physically don't have the strength to mount these tires onto the wheel or taking them off the truck. And every time you try to take them off the truck, they're seized on there. And that's just another headache in itself. And then you get to actually racking the truck. There's just a lot about that particular vehicle that I don't like to do. In order to really carry on in Ford, you need to have, and I'm talking like, master, being a master tech with Ford and whatnot. You need to have some well-adverse knowledge and skill for diesels. And I don't know, it's just not for me. The diesel stuff is not for me. I knew that going into this, going into the program. In fact, in my schooling, we didn't even really do anything with diesel. There's a whole other program for diesels that, I didn't take. We talked about diesel engines for maybe a week in my class. But no, you want the whole thing on diesels, you enroll in that particular program at the school for the whole year and a half of diesel studying. It's just not for me. So when I decided to put my application and my resumes out there, I was thinking of brands that don't really specialize in trucks of that size. That kind of wipes out GM and Dodge. You know, GM, obviously, you have your Silverados and your Sierras that can be both, you know, both of them can be in like Super Duty type styles, you know, heavy duty trucks. Ram, obviously, they have theirs, you know, the Ram 25 and 3500s. Even higher than that, I think. I think they can go higher than that. But, so, you know, I don't know. Maybe it depends on the dealership. Now, where my dealership is, like I said, they specialize a lot in all that stuff. They specialize a lot in not just F-150s. I mean, we sell a lot of F-150s because of where we're at. It's almost borderline farmland and stuff, you know, in that part of the town. So yeah, you get a lot of people who need their trucks for their farming and other types of work that are out there in the area that you need that kind of truck for. So our dealership specializes in that a lot. Maybe not every dealership does, you know, not every dealership, I'm sure, is equipped for that much business when it comes to heavier duty trucks. But yeah, I decided not to go the route of GM or Dodge. So I really had to think, you know, where do I want to go? Who do I want to send this out to? So I gave it some thought, and I decided to send my resumes out to a few other dealerships in the area that don't manufacture those kinds of trucks. And two of them got my resume and got back to me. I ended up having 2 interviews in one day, and actually I got hired for both. 2 different dealerships hired me on the same day. So now I gotta decide which one do I go with. The very first interview that I had, I think it was the best interview that I've ever done. For anything I've ever applied to do. I had a really good feeling in my gut about going into this particular dealership. Talking to this guy on the phone, you know, he sounded very enthusiastic to meet me. I don't know, I just can't, you know, I can't really describe, you know, I just had a good feeling about it. I went into this interview, I sat down in this guy's office, and seriously, felt like I had known this guy forever. You know, the questions he was asking, the way that I was able to, you know, I didn't feel pressured. He had described a whole lot, you know, perfectly about the job, obviously, the benefits, the pay. I mean, he just laid it all out there on the table in this interview. And before I left, he told me right then and there that I got the job. It's just a matter of when I would like to start. Now, being the honest person that I am, I did tell him that there is another dealership that, you know, I did, you know, make an appointment to interview with. You know, I just wanted him to know, and he was cool with it. You know, I even told him right then and there, I liked everything that he was offering me. It sounds great. I had a good feeling about this place, but just, you know, I wanted to be able to hear the other side as well. If anything, just to, you know, to stay professional. So then I went to this other interview hours later, and I ended up interviewing with two people at this dealership. The interview was longer, and honestly, you know, these two gentlemen that I interviewed with, you know, they seem like they're really awesome guys. But at the same time, I felt a little more nervous in this interview for some reason. The shop is brand new. It's only been there, this whole dealership has only been there for a few years. Everything in the shop is like up to date, air conditioned shop, for crying out loud. You know, but at the same time, I just really wasn't feeling it. They offered me a lot of the same things that this first dealership was offering me. The same pay rate, um, but there were some perks that the first dealership did tell me, right away, that, you know, really gave me something to think about. And I left this interview. They didn't necessarily say that they were going to hire me the way that the first dealership did. I mean, I pretty much had the first dealership already. The second dealership didn't give me an answer. They said that they would let me know. They have to talk, amongst themselves and get back to me. So a few hours later, after I got home, they got back to me, and they did tell me that they want me to work for them as well. They think I'd be a good fit there, and yeah, I got hired at 2 dealerships in one day. I kind of thought I'd already made my mind up with the one, but then, after hearing the pitch from the second dealership, I was kind of torn. Didn't really expect it to go the way that it did. Even though, they both kind of offered a similar thing. I was really torn, and I gave it a whole day to really think about it. And by the end of the day, I had decided to go with my gut originally and go to the first dealership that I had interviewed with. I really do hope that it is leading me in the right direction. Just based off of everything that, I was told, how they train, the type of job, type of jobs, I should say, that they get at this dealership. So, yeah, I went with the first one. So this is the part where you guys are wondering, who did I accept a job from? Which manufacturer? It's going to be really weird to say. It really is. Because I never really thought that I would ever make the move from Ford. And like I said, it kind of does kill me in a way to move away from Ford. I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to be one of them technicians who bounce around from dealer to dealer. I'm more the person who will stay loyal as long as, my needs are met, as long as I'm treated well, as long as the whole business is treating me well, as long as I like what I'm doing, which I don't think this is going to be a problem. I still love, to tinker with these cars day in and day out. But, I don't really, how can I put it? Like, I just want to be able to stay in one place. I don't like change. I know I've covered that in another vlog before. I don't like change. This whole thing here is, the closer that I get, it is freaking me out a little bit. Because I know my day, my routine, everything that I know is going to start changing. And it's going to take some time to settle back in. And eventually everything will feel normal. I felt that way when I started the job here at this Ford dealership, new people, new processes, new location. I mean, there's so much to just get over, And this is going to be the same way. And it's definitely going to take some time to get used to. But, as freaked out as I'm getting about this, I am also getting extremely excited because it's another chapter in this journey of this career path that I've taken, and it's given me the opportunity to, continue to further my education on things outside of Ford. It's going to be giving me the opportunities to use the education that I've gained while in school to work on certain types of jobs that I haven't been able to do yet. I mean, for real, I've probably done more diagnostic work and more repairs in my own driveway than I have at work, you know. So more opportunities there. The pay is going to be better, so I can actually start planning on, you know, doing things to the house. Maybe this will be the time that I could finally save up to get a garage built, you know? Stuff like that, you know, I feel like I'm getting to the point where I can start planning these things, you know, and I need that, you know. I need to start being able to do that stuff. So it's like, you know, I'm freaked out, but I'm excited because good things should be coming. It's just going to be a matter of time before I get used to it. I've heard a lot of good things. That's all I'm going to say. And hopefully they're true. But, you know, I love you, Ford. But I'm going to be a Honda tech. So yeah, V-Tech, baby. Never thought I'd say that. I got hired at a Honda dealership. The nice thing about Hondas, and I didn't even have to say anything. Didn't have to say anything at all. The guy who interviewed me said, we don't do diesels. We don't do big trucks. They don't take any Super Duty or anything of that size, and they don't service them at that dealership. He flat out told me that in the middle of the interview. And at the time that we were talking, it had even crossed my mind. Even though that was something that I knew I didn't want to deal with, you know, I didn't even have to say it. I didn't have to ask it. He said that. So obviously Hondas, they do not make any large truck. They don't do anything diesel. They have the Ridgeline, which is a pickup truck. But I'm pretty sure it's a unibody truck. I don't think it's an actual, you know, cab over frame truck like an F-150. So even that is going to be more car-like, you know. I've also heard Hondas are actually really easy to work on. They're also freaking reliable, and I've known this for years. I mean, you know, there are so many Honda cars that I have liked and have had interest in for many, many years. I never bought a Honda because I've never really been able to afford a newer one. You know, I mean, I've considered them, you know, but I mean, they're more expensive because they actually are reliable. My father-in-law, you know, they have a Honda Fit. I think it's like a 2016 or something. And they love that thing. They bought that a few years ago, and I don't think they've had any problems with it. So, I mean, I know that they're great cars. They're amazing cars. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but good things about Honda. I've heard nothing but good things about the dealership that I'm going to. So, I just hope this works out. So today, you know, I was supposed to be at work today. I didn't make it in because of all the snow. And by the time I had the driveways and the cars cleared off and stuff, they told me not even to come in. So tomorrow is actually my last day at the dealership. Obviously I'm not there today, so tomorrow's going to be pretty weird, you know, to go back for one more day. And tomorrow will be the day where I pretty much get ready to pack my boxes up and clean my bay, give it a good scrubbing for the next person who's going to have it. And then on Monday, because I'm usually off on Mondays, today's Friday, by the way, tomorrow's Saturday, and then Monday I'm going to use my my mom's boyfriend's truck. I'm going to get a trailer, and then that's when I'm going to go pick everything up and take it from point A to point B, which will be the new place. Drop it off, and then sometime next week after Monday, that's when I get to start. So this is happening really quick. By the time that this video is aired, I will have already started my journey as a Honda technician. There are some good things that can come out of this for the channel. You know, I may be able to introduce some new cars to the channel, a new brand even, you know. People who I know who have Hondas who may need something done to them, you know. Could be a good video, you know. My neighbor, she's got 2 of them. So, who knows. But I'm looking forward to this. And I wanted to let you guys know because, you know, you guys, you know, this is not only just a car channel, but I like to incorporate some things in my life as well as the cars, you know, with this. And just about every time that I've done a new job, I've gotten a new job and stuff, you know, I've taken you guys along for the ride and I've told you guys about it, you know, just so you know where I'm at and where it can go from here. But that's going to be it, you know. Train's here. We're going to start a new job in a few days. Tomorrow's my last day as a Ford technician. As sad as I am to leave this dealership and to leave Ford and all this stuff, you know, it does come with a little bit of sadness. It could have worked, but it's not. And it just, you know, again, it kind of shows you that you can only take so much. Don't keep yourself in a situation that you're not happy in. Don't keep yourself in a situation that constantly has you stressed or uncomfortable or worried, you know, about how much you're going to make to keep the lights on. If you got to do it, do it. Find something else, you know. It saddens me to leave all the people that I've known and worked with, but you got to do what you got to do to stay happy, to stay successful. And, you know, I'm just getting started. I went into this career field because I want to be the absolute best that I can be. And I want to learn what I can learn and do what I got to do. And I was not getting that at this current place. So it's time to jump ship. You can only give it so many chances. And that's what I did. And it's time to move on. That's what it comes down to. So that's all I've got, guys. I hope you made it this far in the video. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And check out teespring.com/stores/Mike's Vehicle Spotlight for all of your other MVS and vlog merchandise. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. And, you know, like I said, sometime down the road, maybe I can bring you guys along, show you what I know, and take it a day at a time. I will see you next time. Thank you again for watching. Take care.